Welcome to LUTV's coverage as Leeds United under-21s are back in action tonight as they take on Altrincham in the National League Cup. It's a semi-final clash for them to look forward to, a chance to progress into a new competition, a new final, having the competition started back at the start of the season. Leeds to get here had to come back from behind against Aldershot Town, a brace from Chadwick and a goal from Oliver Pickles to ensure themselves a place in the final four. As the teams are just going through their pre-match handshakes, we have Rory Mahady in goal for Leeds United, but we will start with Altrincham first. Of course, it's only fair. It's then Caleb Ansen, Lewis Banks, Jake Cooper, Elliot Osborne, Matty Kosylo, Regan Griffiths, Lucas Weaver, George Wilson, Carell Reddin, Tyler Golden and Callum Dolan. The bench is Baines, Whittle, Amaluzor, Crawford, Bywater, Thompson and Randle. And Phil Parkinson is in charge. Leeds United then, as I say, Mahady is in net. Believe it should be a four, maybe pronged, five at the back sort of formation. It'll be very fluid. Three centre halves will be Debayo, Moore and Monteiro, Ferguson and Douglas as wing backs, with Cresswell and Chadwick sitting alongside them, and Chambers and McDonald will support Vincent in attack. Scott Gardner has Grainger, Richards and Nfonkeu, Firth and Pickles as his bench, and it will be a perfect birthday present for Scott Gardner to win today. Happy birthday to the coach, who will hopefully be having a double celebration. Delighted to say I'm joined by Andy Cousins tonight for this encounter, and we've done a good few games together this year where there's an element to the team having to learn on the job, Andy, where it's tough. Tonight is going to do just that. This is a team that, in their appearances in the first team, you have bags of experience playing at a very respectable level. It's up to Leeds to learn to try and handle that on their home pitch. Tonight will be a tough assignment. Good evening to you.
Good evening. Yes, it will be, it's good for the lads, to be fair, because it's very much like the old style, I suppose, youth team apprentices going into the Pontins League and playing against men, really. And this is what they've got to do. You know, if you're going to be a professional footballer, you've got to put yourself against, seasoned pros, and Altrincham definitely are. They've got a good few in the team which played on Saturday, and it's going to be a good tough test for them. So let's see how they do, because I'm going to be really interested tonight, particularly with Chambers. He's had a little touch with with the first team. He's up against men tonight. Let's see how he performs tonight as well.
Yeah, so there is a quick fire start. Number 77, Callum Dolan, maybe the most eager player on the entire pitch at the J. Davidson Stadium to get involved twice. He overstepped the mark against this National League outfit, and plenty of players in double figures for appearances in that division for Altrincham this season, and they are sitting with ambitions to really push on. They're ninth in the table, so a very respectable campaign as well, at a level where you've got to play games on a consistent basis. And we can see what they can do for the rest of this evening. Just to give you a heads up, should we go all the way, which we don't want to go into too much detail, but if it is level at half at the full-time whistle, straight to penalties, the winner will face Braintree Town or Sutton United in the final. But for now, Leeds are able to get a decision. You can see some travelling support that have made their way for Leeds to try and make it as welcoming as possible. And I guess, as the cliche goes, Andy, you want an early start just to settle the nerves a little bit and get a nice feel of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just get yourself, foot on the ball. It's a little bit windy out there by the looks of it, but also the pitch is not the best, is it? You can see it straight away. It's bobbling around a little bit, which makes it a little bit more difficult. The home team are going to have a little bit of an advantage there, but again, great support from the Leeds fans, isn't it? To go and watch. They follow every age group of Leeds United. It's fantastic to see, but let's hope the boys can get hold of this ball and get it moving, because we have got some good quality in this team.
The throw-in to come for the hosts, taken pretty quickly, and it was Golden putting it into a dangerous area. Now he will with his left boot as well, headed away by Ferguson. Fallen out to Chambers, who just scoops it back to his left back, and now he can open up the lungs and try and come forward, but the angle was always favourable for the Altrincham midfielder as Chadwick just decided to hold off on the challenge. There was a crunching one coming from a further deeper position from Leeds, But again, you can see the difference in the team. So we've actually got the opposite flanks. You would naturally expect McDonald to play on the left. That could swap. He had a barnstormer in the last round, coming to devastating effect off the left. So do not be surprised if number 7 and number 11 switch round. And for now, we'll see what the press can be like with Vincent. But more than expecting the home team to have more of the ball, they are a lot more experienced. The pitch, as you can naturally see, has certainly got some ruggedness to it. They'll be used to that, as chasing this ball down is Dolan, watched all the way by Debayo, but he's having to track back here. Dolan's got the better of him to then cross the ball, only to put too much power on that. And Leeds can now regroup from right to left as Ferguson goes out to put the pressure on. Chadwick running just to the edge of the box to stop an on-rushing attack. Leeds squeezing together to minimise the space. Into the channel now for Osborne. He digs out across, puts plenty of power behind it. And Roy Mahady and the travelling support can watch that go well wide. But anything you notice in early doors?
Not really. I think you're going to, like you said earlier on, I think we're going to see them have more of the ball. I think defensively we've got to be aware of the runs in behind. These are, as we said, they're going to be stronger because they are, the men. They're used to playing in football, league football, which is a good thing to be. And look, it's going to be a tough one. Mahady there's just kicked it straight out of play. It just shows what they're going to do. They're going to try and put pressure on the young lads, and they've got to have the confidence in themselves and their own ability to keep that ball and keep moving it around at the back if that's what we're going to play. We're just struggling at the minute with a big pole in our way, but
yeah, ball across the near post and cleared away at the very last second by Monteiro. You can see the extra power that Reddin is bringing to the table. The number 20 he's got in behind a couple of times, so it's just a warning sign for Leeds. That back three, you'd like to think, gives them some form of solidarity back there, as the hosts will come forward, only for Chambers to try to stop Kosylo in his tracks. And no real pressure from Leeds from the outset, just covering the spaces as the hosts tick possession along and just keep Leeds at bay. Boot downfield from Ansen, one of the most inexperienced in terms of appearances this season for the host. He's only made 5 for the first team. Compare that to Banks, who's made 37, 36 for Osborne. So a chance for him to impress tonight, as the same can be said for these Leeds youngsters who, with the back foot more, is trying to stop the cross. He's got work to at the last second. He will appeal for a goal kick and he gets it. Good, patient defending. For a second, maybe looked like there was too much space, but he shut it down at the right time. Yeah,
good defending, which is what you want from the centre halves are up against. There's certainly the big guy up there, 17 is Weaver is a big lad. He looks like he'll work the lines as well. But as we've said from the start, we think they're going to have a bit more of the ball. It does look that way, but this pitch is definitely a leveller. It's bobbling all over the place. There might be some mistimed tackles and a few mistimed passes. So we've got to be on the front foot for that, if that's the case from their point of view. And obviously they'll be trying to do that with us. And but this is where it's interesting. I know we like to try and play out from the back, but they're going to put pressure on us from all over the football pitch and try and pick up the little bits. But good play there from Vincent, which is what you want from your centre forward, just to come in and take the pressure off a little bit and keep hold of that football.
Yeah, it was an avenue that was exploited by Manchester United at Thorpe Arch on Friday, as Cresswell just runs into traffic. Now playing the ball forward is Osborne, and the holding midfielder loops it out to the far side, trying to pick out the run of Weaver. And Weaver, in trying to keep it in, wins his team a throw.
You can see their style though, can't you? They're going to keep hold of the ball a little bit and then going to try and exploit us down the sides. The two centre forwards are going to make them little runs and move the centre halves out. Where we've got 3 back there, and we need our spare man, which is going to be our fullbacks really, and to create that space a little bit, for them, for the get out ball, which we're going to need tonight, because they are putting pressure on us from the 6 or 7 minutes in, and they're on the front foot. They are trying to put pressure on us all over the football pitch, and they're going to try and put pressure on these young kids, to have to perform. And as we said earlier on, these are good enough. They've just got to have that confidence in themselves and keep hold of that ball and keep moving it around like we know they can do.
Debayo Fires it clear. Just keeping it alive there was Banks. Really under pressure there, Altrincham, and fell into a trap with Vincent getting back. So good play from Leeds.
Good pressing again. We're pressing them, which I think is a good thing. I would like our centre forwards to really pressure, their two centre halves. They're in the league, they're in for a reason. They've got mistakes in them. If we can just put pressure on them a little bit at the back, then we can create that mistake, and hopefully we can pounce on that.
Dropping deep, which is not normally like him, is McDonald. He's switching it up. Chambers, though, was caught out with two players, putting him under immediate pressure. So now Leeds are on the back foot. Chambers gets back, gets a slight touch of the ball. Ferguson kicking it the wrong way in a moment of panic, as the overhead kick should fall, thankfully, to Roy Mahady. I did have a bit of a panic there as Conor Ferguson launched it.
I thought that was going to be the best home goal we've ever seen. It's I don't know what he was thinking there. He was going in for the tackle. He's obviously just thought, I'm going to kick the ball as hard as I can, and he's going in for a tackle to do it. But luckily for us, it came to nothing.
Back with Mahady. Forward it goes into Chadwick. Just overruns it. Out towards the left edge for Golden. He rolls it inside to the number 5 of Cooper. And again, good work from Debayo. Nips in early. Gets Leeds on the front foot. Chadwick, though, just trying to squeeze it to McDonald. And sadly, that pass sort of spoils the work of James Debayo. But good to see them attacking early, as I think we've seen a bigger divot than I was playing golf last week in the middle of that penalty area. That's a bit of a warning for what could be to come, because the pitch is already cut up inside 9 minutes. Leeds have misjudged the flight of the ball. More racing across as Monteiro has to get there. Debayo, for the second time in a row, has to come to Leeds' rescue, and he will. Just nudging Weaver off the ball, Andy. Yeah,
good defending there from him. He followed him all the way in, and he just leaned into him on his first touch, and he's just kicked it out of play, which is good defending. But the pitch it's the good old fashioned this time of season, pitch from the lower leagues, and it is churning up quite a bit. And it could be a factor because we are used to, these boys are used to perfect pitches every single week they play on. When they're training or when they're playing, and this is proper men's football. This is going back old school. I love it. I think it's great for the lads to be up against these kind of guys, because it shows what they can do, and it shows the character, and it brings all that out of them, and the manager will get so much out of tonight.
Yeah, just seeing Chambers again. I think they're paying special attention to the Leeds number 7. They'll know, of course, with his threats from the first team, but every time he's had the ball, there's 2 of them within touching distance, and that's been 3 occasions in a row. So see how that unfolds, where the Leeds have to manoeuvre him away from his current position. Debayo toying with Weaver, goes into Monteiro. Little pot pass, you can see the bobble as McDonald retrieves it. It may fall carefully into the path of Vincent, sadly it won't, and cleared away. But again, Chambers puts the pressure on. Good strong challenge. He's been pretty heavily involved in some collisions earlier, as Cresswell gets it. Inside it goes, this time to Chadwick. Leeds now trying to progress. A timid shot, but needed a bit more power. But again, they're giving all they've got. Fighting fire with fire, some good pressurising, getting stuck in.
Absolutely, some good pressure from the top, which is what we want, I keep saying it, these guys are in this division for a reason. There's mistakes in them. If they want to play at the back, let's put pressure on them. Because it is the way that people want to play football nowadays, and they do want to play it from the back, and they want to play pretty football. Sometimes you have to put your foot through it, and play the ugly side of the game. But we are pressuring all over the football pitch, which is good to see.
Good challenge. Leeds tried to go for the ball, but mistimed it as Reddin now capitalises, but for how long? Debayo comes across. He's had 2 or 3 big interceptions now, James Debayo. It will be a corner, but considering the 50-50 was lost, and then they're on the back foot.
Good defending again, though, isn't it? We've got him for the 50-50. It's a proper challenge in that sense, and he just gets away from him, and Debayo just holds him off. Again, another one who's been in and around the first team. This is a great experience for him, because we want to see him up against these kind of people. We want to see him up in the first team. He wants to be playing in the first team. So, his decision making so far has been spot on at centre half.
Yeah, referee just giving out a few instructions. This is where Altrincham, you would feel, will have confidence in set pieces due to their height and power advantage as the dangerous ball in, just off the fringe of Weaver from a dangerous pass from Dolan. And that could have been so much more dangerous for Leeds, as a bit of a fortunate pass back into Dolan, who's clearly wanting to cut inside. Good strong challenge from Cresswell, and it's a little bit over the top from Dolan, and it will be a free kick.
Yeah, good challenge there again, wasn't it? And the referee's just seen the right thing. You know, he's gone in there early, and the lad's a little bit late on him, but straight up on his feet and ready to go again, which is what we want.
Monteiro taking a risk, looking for McDonald, who got a slight touch of the ball to help it on its way.
But here we can see they're trying to put pressure on us as well, because they don't want us to play out from the back. So somebody's got to come and get it, which we've just done there. You know, come and get the ball and have the confidence to do that. You know, and look for the second one. Sometimes you've got to miss that front man coming in as well. You know, we've got Chadwick coming in there. We want the centre half just behind him, so then Debayo could just nip it over the top into his feet. Chadwick can turn, and then he can get the next bit off that.
Mahady to Cresswell, who's just peeled outside to help out. Nothing really old-fashioned about that pass from Chris Moore. It was very delicate from a centre-half, little scoop pass, as Mahady does go a bit more old-school with a clearance out from the back. Chambers unable to get to it. Likewise Ferguson.
I've got to say, it's a pass which I wouldn't have wanted to have received, never mind try.
Altrincham win a throw, which they will just slow it down. Lewis Banks to take. Golden. Further wide it goes to Reddin. Clearly again, just wants the ball out of his feet early. Debayo watches the danger, smothered him quickly. Vincent jumps up just to try and put Golden under pressure. Headed back up the line by Griffiths. And the throwing goes Leeds' way. Good neat touch, in fairness, from Golden. Just a nice cushion to get away, and he draws the pressure from McDonald. And again, he's got to be wary of that as the game unfolds. Douglas this time does get to Reddin as late challenge on Chadwick, but I don't think there was that much contact. The referee lets it go.
He's letting a few things go as the referee, which is good to see. You know, you don't want the whistle to be going every 5 minutes. You know, he is letting a few bits go. You know, and the lads are holding their own at the minute.
Forward it goes, and it's now into the feet of Wilson. He dribbles away from McDonald, wanted the 1-2. Douglas and Chadwick stand their ground, so Leeds recover as Cresswell's now picked out, slightly behind Chadwick.
Just that ball puts him in a difficult position again. He could have kept on going out left there. The left back was kind of on his way already, and we decided to come back into the crowded area. And because the ball was a little bit behind him, you know, certainly it helps them to put the pressure on us, and we did find it a bit more difficult then to turn and keep hold of the ball and keep that momentum which we could have had going out. You know, keep it going out to the left hand side. But again, it's very positive. You know, they're giving us, you know, they're coming in, they're having a few challenges. You know, they're trying to pass it around a little bit, but we're holding our own in there. And I think Debayo at the back, you know, I've been criticism of him sometimes when I've been on here, but tonight he's reading the game a lot better than what he has done. You know, and he's also playing the ball a little bit quicker, which we do need to do.
A free kick conceded by Douglas, foul on Golden as the hosts move it pretty quickly out the back into Captain Osborne. And turn neatly by Dolan, who gets away. Now he's looking to try and get past Monteiro. Runs without possession. Flicked back inside to Griffiths. Trying to build something on the right flank is Kosylo, and he goes backwards. Good work from Cresswell. Took out late, so the referee does get involved. And it's good confidence. I know you've been, you know, you've had to be called to the floor there. Cresswell was having a bit of a word with the referee about the lateness of the challenge, but you've absorbed the pressure, you've cleared it, you've won a free kick. It could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it could, and we go back to it, don't we? You know, they're going to be putting pressure on us because the team talk beforehand, I think, for Altrincham would have been quite simple. You know, put a bit of pressure on these. Let's see if they're actually good enough. They're going to be prima donnas to play for Leeds United. They think that there's going to be this, that, and the other. let's give them a good old-fashioned football match, and let's not hold anything back. It's a good opportunity for their fringe players to play as well, and some of the players in their first team who haven't played as much as they maybe wanted to. And this time of year is a real difficult one, because a lot of players will be either being told that they've not got a contract for next year, or they're fighting for a new contract with this club, and so on. So their livings are up in the air a little bit at the minute. So everybody's trying to prove something to individuals themselves, to scouts, to managers, and so on and so forth. So it's been a decent game so far, hasn't it? They're putting pressure on, we're putting pressure on. We're here again, we try to put the pressure on the left back, which we do, and we're putting that pressure all over the pitch, and we've got the throw-in, I think, there. It's it's showing our fruits, and we can get hold of the ball then. The boys are playing with a lot of confidence, which is great to see.
Yeah, ball played, good work from Chadwick, just drags it back. McDonald going on his own for a little bit, flicks it to Cresswell, looks outside to Ferguson, who will be his first target. Now Ferguson comes back inside, goes for an effort, brilliant strike, an equally matched save from Kosylo Ansen, and he had to be alert. It is not often Conor Ferguson will cut in on his right foot. I think he should be doing it a lot more. What an effort that
absolutely,
is.
It's a great bit of play, isn't it? We've come across, a great little touch inside, and he's swung it with his right. It sat up perfectly for him, and he's got the confidence to hit it with his good old swinger, as we would call it. Not his natural side, and the keeper's had to make a good save, and we've got a corner. Again, it's a good bit of play by Leeds.
Ball delivered into the 6-yard box. 2 bodies for Leeds, just pulled back, nothing given by the officials. Chambers back to Chadwick. They work a 1-2, but running down a bit of a one-way street for now. But Chambers changes that as he picks out Chadwick. Looping ball, nobody there in Leeds colours. The closest to it was Debayo, as a quick glance over the shoulder to check the pressure. And it will give him enough time to just get back into a bit of a defensive shape. As Ferguson gets it now, and Leeds will just start again and regroup. Collecting it is Douglas, who's on the opposite flank for now. Mahady wide, where Debayo will shape to control left and then move right, and he glides forward, flicks it pretty nonchalantly inside to Moore. Chambers and now Monteiro. Leeds just getting a bit of confidence here in possession, growing into the game. Here's Douglas. Out to McDonald. McDonald runs into traffic there. Osborne wanting to stand him up and does. So now Leeds immediately go from attack to defence. Danger player Dolan from the early exchanges keeps the play ticking over. Out to Kosylo, who will have a crack. Isn't a million miles away in terms of making Mahady panic, but it was quite a calm reaction from the keeper, suggesting from the minute it left the boot he was okay with it. But maybe a warning sign. Did you maybe feel that's the most comfortable Leeds have looked in possession? Yeah,
most likely is. They're growing in confidence, aren't they? This is what I don't like sometimes. It's like, again, he's got to be offside there, surely.
Reddin plays it forward, yeah, it is offside, but
I don't like
to your point.
I don't like this that way of playing out the back when it's like that. Sometimes you just have to get rid of it. But I think, it comes from a little bit. Their effort there came a little bit from our mistake. Maybe growing too much confidence in that sense. But good little bit of play from the boys, and Pitt, we couldn't get it out wide like we wanted to. The space around this football pitch, which is growing. Now 20 minutes in, the lads are keeping hold of the football a little bit more. They're getting a bit more possession in it. Making them work, to try and get it. We do have to be a little bit careful. But things like this at the back, this is game management. This is what we really don't like to see. Full stop. If I was a centre half now, I'd be having a go at the keeper. Sometimes you've got to put your foot through it. Sometimes you just have to get rid of your lines and start from further up the football pitch and pick up the bits. You can't just play pretty football all the time. Sometimes, again, if these were a slightly better quality, like you say, Man United on Friday night, they might have punished you then, from that stage, because they've got a little bit more quality than what these have got. But look, sometimes you just have to think, and he's done it a few times this year. But certainly when I've been on the co-coms, that you've got to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, here comes Weaver running the opposite way. Ferguson concedes a corner, but good covering all the time. Was always touch tight and ready to put the block in when he could. Leeds will now wait for their opposite numbers to mark up. The likes of Cooper, Banks.
They're a big team as well, aren't they?
Making their way forward. They're the two defenders just on the edge of the area, near the number 9 of Harvey Vincent. Chadwick spots a potential short corner, so goes to cover it. Underneath Mahady, good hands. Leeds fans pretty happy with a safe clearance out from the back, and no need for any defenders to get involved. And now he releases Vincent.
What a ball that is.
With a brilliant crossfield pass. Vincent with a bit of a spring in his step. He's going to have to go on his own. Gets taken off the ball at the last second. Altrincham pretty pleased with that, and that's a really nice bit of play. And these are the two players on the left that are combining very, very effectively, Dolan and Reddin. As Cresswell leaves a slight late foot on one of the midfielders, so advantage is played.
Got to go back to that ball by Mahady. What a ball it was. You know, that's what you like your keeper to do. If he's comfortable and confident enough to do that. I was stood with Nigel Martin on Saturday at the game, and their keeper did one, and Nigel was like, I wish I could do that. You know, it is one of them where, you know, it just opens everything up really, really quickly. If you've got that vision, you've got that confidence as a keeper to play that ball, it just opens up. You know, great defending from the left back, by the way, from Altrincham in that sense, but you know, good play from the keeper.
Yeah, golden. Wide to Reddin. Debayo a quick glance to see if he's got any support. He doesn't for now. Dolan drops the shoulder, goes past McDonald. Leeds try to stand him up. They do that with Douglas. And now McDonald gathers, plays it into a really narrow gap to Vincent. That can release Chambers, just goes without it. And Osborne comes across to concede a throw. But again, Leeds' first intention was to be positive in possession.
Yeah, we've got to be careful of Dolan, haven't we? He's been lively this first 25 minutes for them. You know, he didn't play on over the weekend, and you know, he's definitely got a point to prove at this present moment in time, because he's been there live wire this first 25 minutes.
Yeah, back into Mahady as he's just waiting for now for a little bit of help. Debayo back to Mahady. No real pressure. First time for a while, really, from the hosts. Mahady again. Back to Debayo. Not really going anywhere with it, Leeds, but waiting for an avenue to break free as Monteiro looking further downfield, try to see if his keeper can go long, which he now decides to do. Chambers underneath it, but easy work for Osborne. Monteiro. Nice work from Leeds now. Vincent picks it up. Just in a central position, he has to return to Monteiro. Now to Chadwick. Ferguson's on his outside and he finds him. Back to Chambers. Now Monteiro again. Into the feet of Vincent. Great return pass. The keeper is stood on his 6-yard box, maybe just on his goal line, waiting for Monteiro shot. You feel for the net to bulge. He was a sitting duck, but it went past the near post.
Yeah, great little bit of play, wasn't it? You know, we've kept hold of the ball, 10, 15 passes or something like that. You know, Monteiro's gone in, he's gone in from centre half, good little, you know, ball off there. And to be fair, I think the keeper's planted. If that hits the target, that's a goal. Yeah. You know, some really good play from the lads there. And growing in confidence.
Yeah, I think there's a few patterns, isn't there, where they certainly short through the middle. They're going quick and out of feet, and he's giving them a little bit of joy. Here is Osborne, misplaced pass.
Well, I think our wide men just go into they just move in a little bit. They don't stay right on the lines. It's a bit like the first team. We like to get them in a little bit, and I think we're creating that extra man then in the midfield. Monteiro's coming in there as well, which, you know, also gives us that. It doesn't have to be that centre half. It could be one of the other centre halves who comes in there. But it is creating that extra man in the midfield area, which is actually where we're getting quite a lot of joy. And the boys are playing 1-2 touching around people, which then opens a bit more space up for, you know, for our wingers on the opposite sides or the full-backs to come down, you know, the wings.
Banks tries to thread it through and has done into Weaver. Played down the line for the run of Dolan, who's in a foot race with Debayo. He will beat him to it, but Debayo stands his ground. Leeds covering in the edge of the penalty area as he goes across. Mahady at full stretch. Reddin will keep this play alive. Douglas trying to close him down, does well. Got his work cut out tonight, Conor Douglas. He's a winger by trade, playing at right wing back against a tricky winger. And he'll know all about giving defenders a nightmare at the office. He's now got to do the dirty side of the game as a winger, the hard graft, and he's doing so as Chadwick flies in. Interesting to see Weaver back out of that challenge. I thought you might try and meet him head on. So here is Debayo squeezing it into Monteiro. Chadwick. Now Monteiro, that is delightful. Makes it look so easy. Chambers' first touch is heavy. Could well have been a pass that to Vincent. There's just small signs that Leeds are finding that confidence. Yes, it hasn't clicked enough to generate more than one save out of the goalkeeper, but you know, that there from a centre half, if you were playing with nerves, you wouldn't do that, would you? No,
absolutely. Look, the boys won't have any nerves. They'll be relishing this opportunity. It's an opportunity to get into a final. It doesn't matter what cup it is or anything else like that. It's a great opportunity, and also a great opportunity, like we said at the start, just to pit their wits against, you know, adults, you know, people who have been seasoned pros for a long time. You know, I think we struggled a little bit in there just because the touch, the ball just bounced up a little bit. But Monteiro's coming into that middle of the park and he's giving us that extra man, and he does look quite comfortable when he's got a bit of time on the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, McDonald gets a bit of time to get away to Chadwick, and that quick-fire 1-2 is stopped by a challenge. Cresswell again is asking the referee for any issues to report. We do have Sam Chambers down in back play, and he has had some pretty hefty collisions to do with Chambers. It's not been easy for him inside the first half an hour. The physio will be now allowed on, so let's hope this is just a knock that he wants to have a bit of spray on rather than anything else more sinister.
The old magic sponge, can't beat it. But look, he's a target now, isn't he? You know, in this team, he's gone into the first team. He's gone onto the pitch now in the first team as well, and done well, you know, in the game. So people know who he is. You know, Altrincham would have gone, we need to keep very, very tight to him. You know, now he needs to create space himself and work in them areas. But yeah, I don't think nothing really happened by the looks of it there. You know, we're just seeing the replay and he just kind of went down, which makes me think it could be a bit more muscular than anything else. But he's up on his feet now and walking to the side, and the magic sponge hopefully has worked.
Yeah, of course. You may get the odd tweak with the pitch. We saw it earlier with the big divot that was taken by one of the Altrincham players.
Got to be careful with your ankles and your knees more than anything when it's a pitch like this, to be honest with you. But you know, you speak to Paul Reaney, this is like Wembley. You know, from what they used to play on, you know, back in the day. So you know, look, the boys will be strapped up. They'll be aware of all this. They've got all the boots and everything else ready for it. So, you know, you just deal with what you're playing on. But good opportunity for us.
Yeah, Chadwick floats it in, headed away. Well, only the way of Monteiro into Cresswell. It might say it won't at the last second. Referee penalises him for a free kick, despite the appeals. Almost, you'd say preconceived. Once he saw that there was a duel coming, I think he thought he'd nudged him in the back. And
I think the operative word there was thought. I didn't really see much, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, they're all going up for the ball, but the ref's obviously seen something that we haven't.
Chris Moore puts the pressure on as it's win a throw. Another player that's been pretty familiar with the surface at the J. Davidson Stadium. J. Davidson Stadium is Cresswell. He's been on the ground a fair few times.
He's played well in there, hasn't he?
Yep.
You know, he's getting hold of the ball, he's moving it around, he's talking to people all the time. You know, it's the first time I've really seen him. And to be honest, I think he's been injured quite a few times. But sorry, I've just got to stop there because last time I did that, he put it into his own net. But look, you know, Cresswell's he's working hard in there. He's keeping hold of the ball. He's keeping it moving. You know, he's the referee's going to have a chat with him for dissent there, but I'm sure he won't get the card out for that. I wouldn't have thought, because he hasn't got the card out for anything so far tonight. But look, he's playing really well in there. We are starting to get a grip of that midfield, and they're getting frustrated, which is what we want.
Yeah, Osborne felt he didn't foul Monteiro.
You never think you foul anybody. You're always thinking that you're not, but he's dragged him back a little bit there, and it is a foul, and the referee's, right to bring him to one side. But, to make the complaint on that side, it's good from a Leeds point of view because it shows they're getting frustrated.
Chadwick goes back to Debayo. Strides out of the back, just flicks it wide to Monteiro, who again will burst into the middle to offer a different angle because Leeds now put under pressure immediately by Chadwick, who's just given one of the players a nudge. Yeah, he was spotted by the referee. And Chadwick is one of those players that will let the other petition know if he doesn't appreciate something. I think it was Kosylo that was it was Griffiths, so he was a little bit late in holding him back and just obstructing him. So Chadwick gave him a bit of a nudge to the floor.
I don't think it's a yellow card, though. Do you really?
No, not really.
There's a bit of handbags going on. Let him just carry on. Let them all play.
Yep. Decision made though. So Chadwick is carded. He had a similar incident against Manchester United on Friday where he was adjudged to have forearmed one of the Manchester United midfielders.
We quite like that though, don't we? Sometimes,
I don't think anybody watching it was disappointed.
Yeah,
he did
absolutely. It feels even better when you're playing against Man United.
Here is Osborne. Mahady stays rooted to his 6-yard box. Glancing header. Mahady this time does have to come to the rescue. Gets his body down to his left-hand side to deny them. Corner to come.
Yeah, he's done well there. I think he's got hold of his shirt as well, which I think he's complaining about. But a good deep ball in from their point of view. We've said it already. They're a big team. I think there's a big pull on the 6 there as well on on Moore, which the referee certainly missed. And that was plain and simply the pitch there, which made a missed kick out to our throw-in. So pressure off.
Yeah, Ferguson told just to take a step back, so the angle was there for the throw-in. Mahady clears, only finds Osborne. Chambers is running pretty freely there. Altrincham wanted a free kick, only conceded a throw. Into the final 10 minutes of the game, and very little to split them really on the whole, I think you'd say, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's been competitive. There's not been much as in chances. I think we've had the better chances. We've had 2 for me, good chances. One which keeper's made a good save. I'm trying to think if Mahady's had a save to make, and I don't think he really has, to be honest with you. They played a quick, nice little ball across, but I don't think he's really had too much to do. So I think from Leeds' point of view, I think the manager will be very happy. They've stood up to the test so far.
Monteiro wide to Moore, pressurised immediately. Griffiths tries to play it wide. Moore flies in. It's a strong challenge on Chambers, who wasn't very appreciative of the effort. A few players coming across to try and stand up for each other. Here's Cresswell. Chambers then flies in. That's the repercussions of the referee letting it go. He lets it go again. I mean, that was some challenge. There's a shoulder barge there as well. It's all getting a bit heated as Monteiro races forwards. Leeds trying to be inspired by that as the ball was slightly behind McDonald. And that could have been such a big moment for Leeds. Rather than dwell on the past, they've got to get back. Cresswell stands his ground. Leeds have got a good position here if they can get themselves forward. Chadwick has had the pocket picked. Here's Vincent. The challengers are flying in left, right and centre. Now Chadwick is caught, and the rest of the players are going to protest, and there is the point in further downfield, and I think it is number 5 for Jake Cooper that has taken the chunk out of Reece Chadwick of his right leg. It's a dangerous free kick. I think we've had the card for Chadwick. We might have to have one the other way here.
Well, there's definitely a card, coming for the tackle at the end there. I don't know really what the referee was thinking earlier on, because there was a few challenges going in. But look, this is men's football. This is what happens. The boys are standing up to them, and they don't like it, which is great. Chadwick's gone in there, and you've got Chambers a little bit earlier on. But this is the first tackle's gone in there. Then that one there that's total recall. 23.
Yeah, golden.
He's gone in there and proper taking him out. And that's a repercussion from the ones beforehand, which Chambers has gone in for. And he went all in on that one as well. Look, this is what you get. They're not going to take any prisoners. They're going to give us as good as they get, and it's a great position here for Chadwick to possibly put this in the top corner. It'll be a finish off the half very, very well. It's a great position to have a free kick. Maybe a few more yards out will be perfect.
Yeah,
it's quite hard to get it up and down from there. If he's not got his wall all set up right, he's got the big fellas on the right hand side, so he's covering his right hand side on that side of it. But it is a good opportunity, is this?
Yeah. So Chadwick sets himself. As I said earlier, this Altrincham team have got some big defenders that he's got to try and get it up and over. Will he find a gap to try and beat Ansen in goal? It is Chadwick. 8 minutes left of the first half. Goes the opposite side. Hits the post. Monteiro on the rebound. Leeds take the lead. Keeper couldn't get up in time. The defence couldn't get across, and Diogo Monteiro pivoted, fired home. It's Altrincham 0, Leeds United 1.
Fully deserved as well, isn't it? The little pass to play just beforehand, like we were talking about. A few tackles going in. But a great free kick. He's done the keeper. He's hit the post, and Monteiro's there, and he can't really miss, can he? He's just put his foot through it into the top of the net. And he's giving the fans a little bit back, which is good to see sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you'd say from here this is going to be a passionate affair then for certainly the next 7 minutes before half time, because Altrincham they're going to feel aggrieved. They felt they should have had 2 free kicks at the other end. Chambers stood his ground alongside about 5 of his teammates.
But we know what the referee's been given so far. He's let it go quite a lot so far, so you kind of look at that and go, well, what the standards are of what he's going to give a free kick for, what he's going to give a yellow card for. If that's the case, then it's the same for both teams. But I think you're right. I think it's definitely going to get feisty.
Yeah, Chambers will be, I'm sure, having his wits about it. There'll be a fair few others, but of course this is what this club is known for, standing up for itself and trying to fight. And these players have done that all of their 21s careers. Do not be expecting them to back down as Monteiro tries to get back in. Weaver try to turn past Moore, and Monteiro gets a slight foot to the ball. Good block, and Moore just scoops it away towards Chambers, who in a duel with Banks, I don't think he touched that, but Lewis Banks wins a throw.
Yeah, I don't know really what happened there. He was adamant that it didn't come off him. But look, you've just got to get back in and,
Cresswell again.
Free kick there.
Cresswell again upended. I think it was a combination of the 2 midfielders.
This is just frustration, though, isn't it, from Altrincham? The lads have played really well. They've stood up to the challenge. So far in the first 40 minutes, we've played some good football. We've kept hold of the ball well. And they're just getting more and more frustrated with us, which is what you'd like to see as a manager. The manager will be loving this. The players, when they get in there, will be loving it as well.
Ferguson races and gets to the ball. He has Chambers alongside him. He goes to ground. Referee again lets play go on. What an opportunity that could have been if he just had a split second longer. And the chaotic nature of the game as Moore will pull down Weaver. That may be another yellow card, and Moore is just trying to recover after missing possession. He pulls Weaver to the floor. I don't think he can have many complaints. If the referee thinks it's a free kick, considering the area of the pitch and the way he was attacking, it would have to be a card.
Again, I think he missed one down the other side there. I think, Chambers was through, and I think he just got pulled back. But, here we go. Possibly not. But we've got to play to the whistle. Like I said 2 minutes ago, the referee is going to let a lot go. He don't let pulling your shirt back and when you're in front of them go, but he's letting a lot go at the minute. So you know what the standard is.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Moore's unhappy there. He thought he was nudged in the back as Griffiths swings it to the far post. Ferguson adjusts his body so well to allow himself to clear. And it's not a clearance, it's a pinpoint pass to Harvey Vincent, who with no support decides to spin around and pick out Cresswell. There's a control nature to the play here. Leeds, rather than go for all-out attack, put their foot on the ball. Monteiro again, he's really finding a better space to relieve possession. He goes wide to Cresswell, just dummies away. Leeds, as each minute passes, just finding more confidence on the ball, but certainly no way that this game is firmly one-way traffic. Altrincham might not have had lion's share the last 5 or 10 minutes, but they've given Leeds enough warning signs to be fully aware that the second half is going to be entertaining occasion, you'd feel, as here's Mahady. Picks out Chambers. Immediately closed down by Banks, who again, it's just that special attention to the midfielders. They're not allowing anybody to turn, or certainly trying not to.
Yeah, we've just got to play it out now for the next 3 or 4 minutes and get to half-time. It's been a fantastic half so far for them, with a great goal, and defensively we've been very solid, and the lads are really, really up for the challenge now. You can see that they're all in this together at the minute. Challenges are going in left, right and centre. That's going to continue through the second half as well. But let's get to half time, let's game management it through to that point, and
just break off. Yeah, Chambers may be carded here. I mean, there was a big reaction from the number 14, Matty Kosylo, who felt it was a deliberate rake down the Achilles. I didn't think it was that bad.
Again, that's a reaction from them from the challenge before when we scored the goal. We got the free kick because they thought he should have been booked back then.
Yeah, he's getting carded. I don't think it was as blatant as a deliberate raking of the studs, but again, of course, it's from behind, so the free kick is a natural decision, and then he's warranted it to be a yellow.
He's got to be careful now, though, hasn't he? Because he's definitely up for the challenge. We can see it here. He gets his ankle there, and
I will stand corrected.
He gets his ankle on there on purpose, but
I thought he got closer to the ball. He didn't. As Ferguson has defensive work to do. Dolan switch flanks for now. Try to get past him. Ferguson flies in. Good challenge. Corner conceded. I think you could call that Ferguson. Chambers would probably say he got even, because I think he feels it was Kosylo that fouled him earlier. But when you're young, you've got to try and put that to one side, I guess.
You do, and you've given away not a simple free kick, but you've given away a yellow card, which in a feisty game like this, you want to keep out of the book, because there's a time when you might have to put that challenge in.
Yeah, here comes McDonald, races away. That is a
exactly
foul.
Like that. He'll be booked for that. You knew that was coming. If he'd have just played it off, we would call that as a good professional foul, wouldn't you? Because we were away then. Then he gets that ball away. But again, some great play from the boys in the middle of the park. You've got Chadwick there. He's picking up the ball and coming out. Sorry, McDonald coming out there. Loads and loads of confidence. It's been a very good half for us.
So it's a deserved yellow card. The good ball in from Chadwick. Chambers just jumps up to try and get any sort of touch. Doesn't do so. Put straight back in by Chadwick. Debayo underneath it, as was Monteiro. He'll fall to Chadwick again. Good work from Vincent to Debayo. It's all pretty fancy stuff here. Vincent will have another crack, and it's a relatively easy save, but if it could have been fumbled, Leeds had bodies. Ansen rolls it out pretty quickly to Golden. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Cooper. Reddin. Not the sort of player that Leeds want to be allowing to run freely. Kosylo's ball in. Headed away well by Moore. It'll be another corner. Perhaps the last action of this first half.
Yeah, got to switch on at this point. Having a big team like they are, they're going to put it in the box. We know that. Be nice for the keeper just to come and relieve the pressure, but got to switch on at corners, and this in particular we've got to switch on it with 1 minute left of the half.
Yeah, a bit more of a high hanging ball, headed away by Moore, second time in a row. Banks wins the next knockdown, cleared away by Cresswell. Dolan puts some loft on the ball to the far post. Headed back inside. Reddin might have a shooting opportunity. Only for Cresswell to deny him. Now Monteiro gets in the way but doesn't clear. Leeds had to get their foot through this. It's all hands on deck. And there is the clearance as McDonald is the one they want to try and bring into possession. It's a 2-on-2. McDonald skips away but he's running into traffic. Still going McDonald and now dispossessed as Cresswell put his foot through it. It's a lovely ball out wide to Ferguson. Leeds have Vincent at the far post. They have Chambers coming in. He tries to pick out the number 9, and Leeds will get a corner of their own. What a fine counter-attack that nearly was.
Absolutely. It's where Leeds are generally in all divisions all the way through, from the first team all the way down to the 21s and the 18s. We look really dangerous sometimes when we've got a corner against us, because we do know how to break, and the boys there had broke very, very well, take the pressure off, and this will be the last kick of the game, I would imagine, coming into it. So going into half-time, I would imagine at least 1-0. It's been a very good half from Leeds United.
So here's Chadwick with the delivery. Chambers and Vincent on the edge. Debayo, Cresswell, Monteiro, Moore on the penalty spot. It's McDonald trying to be a bit of a nuisance at the near post. Chadwick sends the signal, and it is to the far post towards Cresswell, and just misjudged by Leeds, but they lead at half-time. So at the J. Davidson Stadium, it's 1-0 to the Whites. The goal from Diogo Monteiro putting them in front. We'll have second half coverage in around 15 minutes' time. Myself, Tom Hill, and Andy Cousins bringing you all the action. And I do believe you're looking at two managers there that have probably gone. We need to try and take the two most passionate players who were at against each other off the field of play, have a bit of a reset, and get back to the tactical side of the game.
Yeah, maybe. I think the thing with Chambers as well, he's, as we said earlier on, he's in and around the first team. The last thing they'll want would be, for him to be sent off for a second yellow and be out, for a game or two. It's one of them where you just don't know where you might need him. Just stop that.
Yeah, because Dolan forces a save out of Mahady. Good save. Gratefully catches the ball with Weaver with a goal at his mercy. Yeah,
good save there. It's the first save I think he's had this year. But as we were saying there, I'll go back to my time. I can remember playing against Liverpool, and the manager came up to me and said, "Look, you're not playing today if a certain person's playing on the other side," which was Paul Dalglish, and he was playing. Oh, we're in here. We're in.
Yeah, and Nfonkeu trying to get to it, just saved by a goalkeeper. Bring you back in, Andy.
And he just said to me, he said, "You're not playing if he's playing because I need you for Saturday." And that's maybe the reason why he's taking Chambers off. And I think the gaffer, from my point of view, knew that I owed him one, and I was going to get my own back. I did later on down the line, but I think the gaffer knew me, and he knew what my personality was and how I was, gonna do something in the way of a tackle, or because we're up against each other. We had a bit of a beef between each other the week before, and that's just managers knowing the players. And I think that's the thing with Chambers is, he is in around the first team. He will be needed in that squad. He's done well in the first team as well. So I think that's more the thought process, because he doesn't want him to get that other yellow card, because he did go in for a few challenges, and the one he got was the yellow card with a little stud down the back of the ankle was a naughty one, and he was getting heated, which was good, but sometimes you've got to temper that heat a little bit, and think about certainly think about the consequences if you did get another yellow. And I think I think both managers have thought the same, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's a player down here. Griffiths is the one that he's limping off the pitch.
It looks like he's groin, doesn't it? He's holding it in there, and they've substituted him, straight away. So I'm guessing he's just done he's tweaked his groin in there.
Yeah, unfortunate for the young man. Only made 2 appearances for the first team this season at Altrincham. He's replaced by experienced Tom Crawford, who's made 37. So they're improving the personnel in terms of know-how and, of course, experience of playing here on a regular basis, as Nfonkeu leads the pressure and the charge for Leeds United. Risky pass back inside. McDonald gets to it, spins and turns. He's got Vincent asking for it in the middle. He gives him the ball straight away. Vincent will then have a speculative effort. Plenty of venom on it. And they have given the goal kick, despite the appeals of McDonald and the number 9, Harvey Vincent, who actually get himself a little bit of space. But it came about with some intense pressure from McDonald. He's not too far away, Andy.
No, some great play again. Good closing down. It did look like he got a touch from our point of view. All the lads were adamant that was the case. The referee didn't. He was waiting for a decision from the linesman, I think, or somebody to make a decision, and he just went for the safe option and gave a goal kick. But again, a good start from the under 21s here, and we're on the front foot again, which is how we finished the second half, the first half. Sorry.
Debayo Forced to try and put Dolan under pressure. Ferguson's racing back to help him, but he's come inside here. Dolan goes for goal. Debayo gets the block in. He'll go towards the far post, trying to keep it alive with Amaluzor. And he, alongside Reddin, gets the home team a throw. Back into defence for Cooper. Back it goes inside, and Amaluzor gets on the attack. Weaver. Back to Wilson, who is Osborne. Stole the goal to nil thanks to Monteiro's effort as Ferguson just steps inside. Very carefully he gives Vincent the ball. McDonald tried to return the favour, but it's just too far in front, and now Leeds on the back foot. Debayo will try and stop that by covering, and just trying to see this ball out of play. Done very well, in fact. It looked like he'd have to clear it, and confident young man gets Leeds a goal kick. Yeah,
he's not shy of confidence, is he, to be fair, on the ball, and he was pretty comfortable there. I think that the ball was going to go out of play, and a few little shimmies, it's gone out and it's back to the keeper. But we're playing out again from the back, but we've started the half very, very well, you know, like we finished the first half. You know, we're trying to keep hold of the ball, trying to move it around a little bit.
Yeah, Amaluzor goes for goal, blocked by Moll. Two subs have
a bit more experience on from their point of view.
Over 60 appearances between them.
Well, again, it gives them credit, doesn't it? It gives you know, the Leeds lads a lot of credit, because they played so well in the first half that they've got to bring, you know, these players on who I'm sure the manager wouldn't want to be bringing on a, you know, on a night where, you know, it's not too far away from the weekend when they've got, you know, they don't want any injuries from these experienced pros. Good turn. Yeah, Cresswell turns. He's got McDonald just in front of him running into the channel. Instead he goes to Chadwick, who goes further wide, this time to Douglas. Nice early ball, looking for a touch for Vincent. Just too far in front of the Leeds number 9, but nice, fast-flowing, counter-attacking football. Yeah, great bit of play out wide, and then a fantastic ball right across the goal where you just don't know what's going to happen from there. But, you know, you've got Cresswell in there. He's kind of running the show, isn't he, tonight? Full of confidence. You know, he's got it in a really, really good area, turned and passed it out wide. And as I said, a great ball across. Anything can happen from there, but very, very positive from Leeds' point of view. Ferguson, bobbling ball back to Mahady. Goalmouth is not ideal. Mahady goes wide into Douglas, who picks out Monteiro. Now into the channel for McDonald, who's got away via the deflection. Now running through into a good position. McDonald turns. Can he find the space to shoot? You bet he can. Really calm play from Josh McDonald. Adds to his superb play in the quarter-final. And that is a fine team goal again, all the way out from the back. It's Altrincham 0, Leeds United 2. Absolutely, as you say there, it's come straight from the back. You know, the keeper's played it out wide. Right back's done a little bit of a dummy for the kid there, but you know, he's made a fantastic ball through there. As we said earlier on in the first half, he's creating the space in there, but I'm shouting for him to cross it, to our 15 on the corner here. He's got so much space, but luckily he's put it in the back of the net, because I think he would have been having a real go at him if he hadn't scored there. But 2-0 Leeds, fully deserved. Yeah, I could tell by your body language you were a bit nervous once he turned inside. He was there. He's left-footed. He could have passed it straight out to him, and it was an open goal for him. So if you've got confidence and you're gonna take it on yourself, you have to score, because otherwise there'll be repercussions from the players in that sense. Yeah, once you do, everyone just sort of forgets about it. But absolutely. I know exactly what you mean. If he does miss, there is Nfonkeu, a few others up there with him. So frustrated. But the good news is Leeds have a 2-goal cushion. But great play from Monteiro there. He's pushed himself up a little bit. You know, he was in the middle of the park there, and he's got hold of the ball, and it was a great ball through, which he's done a few of them today. You know, when we're defending, he does come back and he sits in that centre half spot, or that central midfielder as a holding midfielder, a little bit like Tanaka in that sense. but he is quite comfortable at the back, or he's quite comfortable a bit further up the football pitch. So it's great to see, you know, the lads playing with so much confidence.
Yeah, there's a Altrincham player down here, which is never what you want to see. It looks like a muscle problem for one of the centre half. That's now going to allow Altrincham a bit of a reset. So yeah, Monteiro again, just playing that percentage ball into the channel. The fullback will be annoyed with the touch. Golden, not the player you want to be letting run free in space, Josh McDonald. But yeah, you look at the replay, you can see if that is saved, then Brooklyn Nfonkeu would have every right to have more than a stern word with such an important goal.
I think he's gutted that he hasn't actually got the goal himself. You know, he saunters himself across, but a great finish, a great start to the second half, and 2-0 up, which is well deserved. You know, the lads are sticking up for themselves out there, and they're playing some really good football, which is really good to see.
So see how we go. Cresswell just trying to encourage the players along. Crowd 1,025, by the way. 227 in support for Leeds United, which the players will no doubt be thankful for, and hopefully come full time they get the chance to go over and thank them for their work. As Lewis Baines, another experienced player, 31 appearances for the first team this year, will replace Cooper. And because you've had an experience onto the pitch, just because there is a 2-goal cushion, you know, Altrincham are sat here thinking, we've come this far, we'd like to get to a final. And experienced pros are not going to be able to just say, right, we're not bothered. It's just that sheer desire to try and win. So this is far from over.
It's also hard for them to come on, you know, because these players who are coming on are normally starters for Altrincham. So it's sometimes very hard to get into a football match because you're trying to get up to speed straight away. And, you know, you look at Willie Nonto for Leeds, basically he comes on and he's like he's been on for the first minute. But then you look at people, you know, come on and do find it difficult sometimes. And when you are the first team, you're playing week in, week out, it's very, very difficult to turn the switch on, to come on to a game like this, 2-0 down, 55 minutes in. A good young team who are, you know, fighting for every single ball out there and playing some really good football. It's really difficult for them to get into the speed of the game.
Ferguson racing across to try and stop Weaver. He's done well. Weaver had a slight head start, marginal, but just slightly taller and longer legs. Got away as Cresswell flicks inside. He's really playing with a bit of class in there as Cresswell gets hold of the ball again. Commentator's curse as he overplays it to McDonald, but Leeds 10 minutes to come really, see if they can just try and absorb any pressure from Altrincham. They've done that here with Douglas, who first few minutes was under tons of pressure, was getting beaten by the on-rushing wingers, and then I think after 2 or 3 times he's found his distance, got his eye in, and his tackles have been very important as the ball is intercepted by Moore. Cresswell hangs in, gets a free kick, Moore flies in. There's a little flick out there showing a bit of frustration. Leeds don't react.
That's where you've got to be careful. He's left his foot up there, you know. You might have heard me go, ooh, you know, we've kicked through the ball, and it's a kind of a professional, I want to say a professional foul to a certain point. They kind of leave the leg just hanging there a little bit with a straight leg, and if you're kicking through and you hit onto the back of that, it hurts and can do a lot of damage. You know, that could have been a really nasty challenge in there.
Mahady wide to Douglas, has the time to bring it under control. Chadwick gets it away. McDonald then returns it inside. It's a really good 1-2. Now Leeds coming forward, looking for Vincent at the far post. It may fall out to McDonald. It will. Just looking for that extra bit of space. Uses Chadwick as a dummy and puts it back in for Vincent. Just not close enough to the Leeds number 9. Douglas joins in the attack. Leeds have 3 attacking players on the same wing here. They are going to just consolidate for a split second as Douglas is dumped to the ground, and you said it a couple of times, another frustrated challenge. That's that, I guess, a bit more experience, thinking, I'm sick and tired of watching you run around.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. You know, you've got to, as a player, as a Leeds player now, you're kind of full of confidence because you are playing well, but also because they're giving silly little free kicks away because you're keeping the ball so well. So, you know, another great opportunity for us, you know, going down that right-hand side, and, you know, we've got a chance now with Chadwick putting the ball into the box to pick up the bits again.
Chadwick floats it to the far post, nearly on the head of Moore. You could perhaps see his body language in the back plate. He felt he was a whisker away as Nfonkeu puts the pressure on. Just takes his foot off the gas now, realising that he could be picked off if he goes and rushes forward again. Ferguson, Dolan in a foot race to try and keep it alive. It is the Altrincham player that does so. Good work from Douglas again. Leeds recovered to be sitting pretty deep on that occasion. Scott Gardner giving out the instructions, try to almost drag his players across the pitch. Good work from Moore in midfield, but he drops back into defence. There'll be a gap though behind, so Ferguson and the Leeds number 6 have to retreat. It's Weaver trying to get past Ferguson. He stands his ground. It's very mature, calm play at the back from Leeds, and the 1-2 from Vincent just a bit overplayed. Now Leeds have got space in behind, and on rushing attack will come, well dragged wide, and Leeds will be grateful to see George Wilson get his bearings wrong.
Yeah, he had Dolan out right as well, didn't he? Which he could have passed her, but look, to be fair, anybody in that position would do the same thing. But again, some good play coming out. Just, the ball, ball there from Chadwick from Vincent was just off ball, but no real pressure on him at all, was there really?
Nope. So far, so good. As the ball played down the touchline, looking for Vincent, headed back inside, and that's picked up by Chadwick, who just got to wrestle away one of the Altrincham midfielders, and then he forgets the ball a little bit, just bobbling about. Still has the time to recover as Debayo goes back to Mahady. Douglas just flicks it round the side door, just getting any more of a touch on it to get down the line. Again, Leeds working so hard. Osborne gets it away from Cresswell. Referee gets in the way for Leeds, which you can hear the sarcastic cheers from behind the goal to our left. And referee a little bit flat-footed, but
a bit harsh, that.
It wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't intentional, of course. He's just not expected it. I said that was a biased view.
He wasn't on his toes, was he?
No. He's too busy having to tell people off from the first half for all their disagreements there.
To be fair, he missed quite a few from the first half as well. To be fair, but he's. Who'd want to be a referee? You can't win, can you? The best referees in the world who you don't hear anything from. Back in the day, you had the bald Italian, as we called him in that sense. Is it Pellegrini? Collina. You never ever look at him and go, oh yeah, I'm going to argue with his point of view, and that's the thing. These referees have got a really tough job to do, and we need to give them a bit more slack sometimes.
Yeah, Altrincham trying to build something after that intervention from the ref, as here comes Osborne. He's just retreating a little bit. Moore gets in. There is Monteiro to pick up the pieces. Monteiro will just glide out to the wing. Douglas, Reddin was waiting for him. Douglas goes further wide. He bypasses Cresswell, and Nfonkeu's now got a bit of space to open up the legs, and he uses that and now can go on his way out towards Cresswell. Midfielder looks for support on the edge of the box. Chadwick, the first receiver. Leeds just going to try and absorb and sit back and just see what they can do for a split second. Look at the patterns of play. Chadwick is the first receiver for the second time in a row. He wrestles away, but he's hauled to the floor. No foul given. Didn't seem to be much in it, as here is Nfonkeu. Back to Cresswell. He's just maybe running out of steam a little bit. Altrincham recovering as Monteiro flicks it away. He's frustrated with himself, but again playing for safety. Wilson crossfield. It'll give Douglas half a chance to get across. Kept alive by Reddin, but can only head it back, and it's back to Debayo. Mahady gives it away. Debayo sort of forced to concede a free kick as a result. Monteiro, in fact, I think that was just stepping in front. It was number 4.
There's no need for that again, though, is there? To play a ball out like that, that's a real risky ball. We're 2-0 up, like game management things. This is what we struggle with sometimes, and you've got to. I said it in the first half. Sometimes you've got to learn, and sometimes you just got to put your foot through it. find somebody further up the pitch and pick up the bits. But in and around your box now, we've said it already. These are a big team, and this is just on the corner of the 18-yard box. It's a dangerous position for them to come in.
Osborne stood over it, lays it off inside. Shot's going to come in here. McDonald races out to put the pressure on. It's a sliced effort from Reddin, and Mahady will be delighted to see it just sail past his post. 64 minutes gone, 2-0. If you're just joining us here on LUTV, it is Monteiro and McDonald that have given Leeds the advantage.
And Monteiro there just gone up to him. He's I would class him as a senior pro in that sense. He's gone up to the keeper and just said, look, think about it. And he plays a little short one out.
Plays it into Cresswell.
Don't know if he meant that one though, I have to say. But Monteiro did go into him and give him a little word just to say, look, just be aware of of where you are and what position we're in, because the boys have worked so hard for a mistake would be devastating to all of them.
Yeah, it could really affect the momentum in this game, as Douglas is now the wrong side. They're on the attack here. Altrincham floating ball to the far post, and Nfonkeu gets his body in the way of Banks. Weaver gets to his little pass back. He's going to keep it alive here. And now Nfonkeu hasn't been able to get back goal side of Banks. Monteiro bails out the Leeds defence. Moore was the one slipping at the near post. As Weaver receives the ball from Wilson. This is Altrincham's maybe best spell for a while. Osborne further wide to Golden. Reddin wanted the 1-2, gets it, but Douglas is racing alongside him, nearly fell into Amaluzor. It will fall out to Weaver. Wilson into Amaluzor. Moore's trying to get tight, couldn't get tight enough. It's a neat enough turn. It's Altrincham 1, Leeds United 2, and it's substitute Amaluzor that's got a goal.
Really disappointing. I'm going to go back quite a long way here. I'm going to go back to what the keeper did, because they've had the pressure ever since that point. And they've kept that foot on there. They've got a corner, then they had another little bit of attack, then they had a throw in. They've kept it in our half ever since then. Give them, and it's a good finish to be fair from the kid, but we're putting pressure on ourselves far too early. Back in the 3 or 4 minutes ago, we put that pressure on ourselves, and there's absolutely no need to put our pressure on it now. They're going to think now game's on, because they've got their tails up now. They've got the goal back. Are they going to put a little bit more pressure on? Most likely. They're at home, you'd expect it, but we just need to really look after this game, because silly little mistakes, 4 or 5 passes back, even 3 or 4 minutes back, can really, come back and haunt you. And that's kind of what happened there. We never got out of our half once that back pass from the keeper was in there.
Monteiro wins the flick on. Vincent nearly getting pulled back. Nfonkeu beaten to it by Banks. Ferguson comes flying out and he's beaten by Weaver. Now it's Nfonkeu's job to race and get a slight touch to the ball, but it's enough to put him off. But now he's got to get goal side. Ferguson never gives up on the situation, and after flying in shows plenty of heart to concede the throw. But Altrincham's fans naturally are buoyed by the last minute, and they are now expecting an equaliser before the 90 minutes are up.
Just giving them a lift though, hasn't it, which we nullified that all game so far. It's it was their possibly second shot on target, and we really need to get hold of that ball again. Let's keep playing the football like we were in the first half, and keep the pressure on Altrincham, because I think they're going to really grow possibly in confidence after that goal.
Yeah, McDonald receives possession, closed down immediately. Wilson has gone down though. Altrincham players have had a few muscle problems tonight, which is never nice to see.
Doesn't surprise me with the pitch though. I think it's going to be quite a heavy pitch by the looks of it. We can see it's churning up, so it's going to be quite tough on the legs. And again, it looks like a hamstring this time for 19 Wilson, who's been pretty good this so far. So he won't be a miss on our point of view.
Yeah, he's just explaining to the physio the problem as Cresswell, Chadwick and McDonald come across for a drink. Maybe a quick bit of advice. There's a further coaching staff asking Brooklyn and Nfonkeu to come over. Scott Gardner. Again, try to tell these two experienced midfielders what he wants them to do. Still find it quite funny, we still say experience, and yet they were playing the FA Youth Cup last season. But once you're thrown into the 21s, you almost become that next leader of the group, and those two young men have done just that very proudly.
Cresswell's been good tonight, though, hasn't he? He's always looking for it. He's always searching for the ball. He's always, he's trying to keep the movement going. For a young kid as well, he's a leader. You can see that. He's the captain of the group, and he's around. He's going around everybody. He's talking to everybody. He keeps talking, because I think nowadays there's a lot of. We talked about it at half time. There's a lot of robotic footballers now, and particularly when they're younger, there's a lot coming through to them. There's a lot on the iPads they have to look at. There's a lot on the computers which they're looking at all the time. And I think there's I think sometimes the good old-fashioned way of just changing a little bit. A captain turning around to you and saying, let's just turn him a little bit, or let's just sit in a little bit, or just tuck in a little bit, just come and help us a little bit. A talker on the football pitch, which we do have in the first team. Ampadu's that man. He's the one who really does that in the first team, and I've been really impressed with Cresswell so far. That seems to be exactly what he's becoming.
Remember, Thompson has replaced Wilson in midfield. Vincent nearly beats out Nfonkeu. Perhaps that touch actually stopped Leeds from a counter-attacking. Here's Banks, and Nfonkeu quick and alert to the danger. But again, you can just see the momentum has shifted to the host. Thompson immediately gets the ball on the attack. Amaluzor with a cutback, nearly catching Mahady off guard to the point where there was a touch. Mahady doesn't react poorly, and a corner appeared to be given there.
I think he's changed his mind, but some good play from the right hand side down Altrincham's right hand side. He has given a corner. I thought he changed his mind, but again, we have to defend better. They've definitely got the momentum at the minute of Altrincham, so we need to get close to them again and get the foot on the football. What have we got left? Just over 20 minutes, and it's going to be a tough 20 minutes, I think, for the boys, and it'll show real character to come through this now, because they have got their tails between the legs of Altrincham.
So let's see what the set piece brings to the far post. Another floater, still not fully clear from Leeds, and still as Cresswell hooks it as far as he possibly can, but it's going to be picked up by Osborne, who will get a second back at the cherry, straight back to where it came from, to the far post. A nearly dangerous ball, more the one that flicks clear. McDonald doesn't get a touch to it. Now he will, only as far as Cresswell, who we think will try and draw a foul, doesn't do so. And Nfonkeu into Chadwick, and he will just try and calm things down in midfield, and that's what he brings to the party. As McDonald, beautiful flick inside to Chadwick. This is where Leeds have been so dangerous, the ball getting caught on the beach of a pitch in parts at the J. Davidson Stadium. Deserved a bit more, I think, that counter-attack, but that is now in the past as we're into the final 20 minutes. Osborne to Golden. Immediately looked at McDonald, who's now trying to force him into a mistake. Down the line they go, trying to pick the pass into Amaluzor, and he's got the ball again here, the goal scorer. Chadwick clears, doesn't have any intention to stand on the ball.
He's working the channels, isn't he? The substitution for Altrincham. He's working the channels on both sides, and he's creating a bit of space for them, and he's a big unit, so he can hold up that ball. So it's an area where we need to really stop him getting the ball into his feet.
Cleared away by Leeds once more. Inside it goes to Crawford. Cut back, deflected off the legs of Debayo, and again, Altrincham's fans getting a bit of joy out of this. Corner to come.
Good defending again. Debayo's gone in there. He's got hold of the bobbly ball as well, so he's defended very well there. But again, they're putting the pressure on at the minute, aren't they?
Big moments in this game. Fired into the near post.
Didn't that hit the post?
Mahady glances around looking for an explanation. Leeds were well staffed at the front post, but nobody got a touch to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just clips the post. Mahady, quick glance back into the box.
Keeper will always say that he had it covered. Definitely had it covered. But it did hit the post. I think he miskicked it, obviously, but, look, take the pressure off. I like this. Let's get up there. Let's get our shape. Let's pick the bits up in the middle of the park, and let's play in their half for a little bit, because it seems to be all in our half at the minute.
Yeah, so Mahady's drawing attention from the home crowd. You can see, certainly in the last 2 set pieces, the goal kick in the corner, the amount of sand coming off the pitch. They've taken it quickly to try and catch these out. Crawford's cut back is away. Sorry, it was Weaver, should I say.
He's got one of your divots from your golf game again there, hasn't he? Look at that.
I have no comeback. As a man that I know is better than me at golf, I can say absolutely nothing.
I tell you what, I don't mind a divot when I'm playing golf, I have to say.
But you can see, you can see the goal mouth. We know it's been patchy, but
this is where Mahady's got to be careful on the back, because we have seen it before. Where a ball trickles in and it flicks over your foot, or you've got to take another touch or something like that. You do have to be careful on pitches like this, particular, at the back. But it is churning up a lot all over the football pitch at the minute.
Yeah, good work from Douglas. Big ask for Leeds, such a young squad, practically under 18s out there, really. Yes, they've played for the 21s all year, but age group wise, FA Youth Cup players promoted from last season. Trying not to switch off mentally. Can't afford an inch of extra space, because Altrincham will punish them. This is a team in the top half of the National League table. Here's Ferguson, gets the shout from Cresswell that he needs to play it quickly. Now Vincent, he's got a slight clip of the ankle. Might not have been much in it, but a foul all the same from Baines. It's these instances where Leeds will slowly take on it, just to try and draw them further up the pitch.
Yeah, you've got to just set the... Sometimes it's very intelligent play when they just... get there in front of them and take the free kick, and then just literally, as you say, keep hold of the ball a little bit, take the sting out of the game. We've gone backwards, but that's fine. We just keep hold of that ball and just keep moving it around a little bit. Going back to your point there of, of these all being under 18s, under 19s last year and coming up into this. This is a great experience for them. This is what they want to be playing, because they want to be playing first team football. 18, 19-year-old. Is really where you want to be pushing into that first team, which is what James is doing. Charlie, you've got Cresswell doing, I think, really good things, and really good things talked about in the back rooms and what we're hearing and things like that. There's people out there who are wanting to prove to the manager that they're good enough against fully established professional footballers, and that's the thing. These have come from apprenticeships into the first team, into the 18s, into the 21s, into the men's world a little bit. And the managers and everybody else will learn so much from tonight.
Yeah, Leeds just having to grind things out at the minute, not as easy. I think there's another sub coming. Scott Garner's just signalled to one of his coaching team he wants an alteration. So we'll find out who that will be shortly, as the poor pass behind the feet of Thompson. And again, just the home crowd who've been very quiet pretty much for large parts of this game, and the 2-0 scoreline in Leeds' favour certainly helped. They just try to unsettle the youngsters. There's a fair few of them will actually relish the fact that the crowd's against them, as Vincent is challenged by Banks. Gives Leeds the opportunity just to, again, take 5 or 6 seconds off the clock, just get a breather. Ferguson wanting to go down the line. Vincent had other ideas. Instead it goes to Cresswell. Ambitious throw-in from Leeds, considering the amount of red and white shirts. Good header from Moore. Amaluzor with the fancy feet. No free kicks as the referee. Here is Nfonkeu. He puts his foot on the ball to try and calm things down. Couldn't do so second time around. Ferguson concedes a throw.
And see the urgency now from Altrincham as well, can't you? They're wanting to get the ball out there pretty quickly and, get on the front foot, because, they're trying to obviously get back into the game. They've been given, the 2-1 at the minute, but the boys are still hassling them. They're still on their feet. They're still around their feet at every opportunity they can be, and they need to keep the discipline now. Keep talking to each other, keep shouting people in, keeping with your runners. You know, it's massively important. 12 minutes left of the game, and you know, it's a great opportunity to get into a final. Great play again from Cresswell there.
Yeah, feet of a.
He can't do it twice, can it?
Yeah, feet of a fancy win. Well, he can.
Good. Again, you know, he's never touched him there. He's just gone down. He's a bit tired. You know, he's just bought himself a free kick. But the little nuts beforehand was very, very good. You know, very comfortable on the ball. You know, he knows exactly what he's doing in the middle of that park.
Yeah, it just shows the development centre half for the majority of his career. Young Alfie Cresswell been pushed into midfield in the last 12 to 18 months, and looking like a bit wily veteran out there as he, Ferguson and Nfonkeu are just trying to push Leeds further down the field. Leeds' sub yet to be ready to come onto the field of players. Ferguson goes long to Vincent. Bit of a mismatch there. Cresswell will try and keep it alive. He's pushing Osborne further back into his own half. Osborne appealing for a free kick. As Ansen, under relatively no pressure whatsoever, didn't have the best first touch. If Leeds had committed there, you never know what could have happened. But another outline outball really towards Weaver. It's been an avenue used to right at the start. They try to go wide. They haven't really changed that game plan. It's the same, and you know, they try to get some joy.
Absolutely. You know, I think they've seen the wide area as being an area where they can try and exploit, because we do like to have our fullbacks going, you know, quite high up the football pitch, and they have tried to do that. And you know, their goal actually came from down the left-hand side of, you know, from our point of view, you know. But look, we're still strong. We're still in there. We're still giving as good as we get all over the football pitch. There's a few tired legs out there.
Yeah, ball in from Dolan. It's a dangerous one. Really dangerous.
Good
Douglas,
tackle.
though. Mahady ends up in the back of the net. Douglas again. He'll get a free kick. The flag is up. Well, Conor Douglas deserves a huge pat on the back. In fact, they've said it's gone for a corner. There is the high fives, because Douglas has just thrown his body into harm's way to keep Leeds United 2-1 ahead.
Good defending. That's what you got to do as a defender. Sometimes you've got to win the ball ugly, and that was certainly it. You've got to put your heart and soul on the line to stop goals. As a defender, as a goalkeeper, keeping a clean sheet is as good as scoring a goal, scoring a winner in the last minute. That's what they're wanting. That's what they pride themselves on.
Yeah, so Joe Richards is going to come on for a tired-looking Josh McDonald, and
he's been fantastic tonight as well, hasn't he, McDonald? You know, his little touches, he's created space.
Corner comes in right underneath Mahady, gets a hand to it. An important touch needed to be made. I think that's coming in under the crossbar. Mahady just got his foot caught in the net as he was getting up, I think, there.
Yeah, I thought he'd been done then as well. I thought it just got over him. He took a step forward, and I thought it was just going over the top of him. So good reactions to tip it over. Take no risks.
Yeah, Leeds. Mahady's been put under pressure. He's got a couple of trying to put him off. To the far post they go again.
Well done, ref.
And the referee has decided immediately there is a free kick to be had. So into the final 10 minutes we go. Yeah, so the attendance being confirmed to the crowd, which we told you about earlier. And it is those 200 or so Leeds fans that have got 7 or 8 minutes to try and sing this team to victory. Give them that moral support, because everybody else inside this stadium is desperate for a second goal to what would be force this game into a penalty shootout. Leeds be desperate to avoid that, and they've played for so long to such a high standard. Now just regressing a little bit inside their own half, naturally trying to cover as they go wide here, the host. Weaver trying to get past Ferguson, and Nfonkeu's going to come back to try and help him. No block though. Mahady has to have some extra grip on the ball, and he does just that. I thought it had rolled down the belly, Andy, but he got a good hold on that ball.
Yeah, good positioning from the goalkeeper. You know, he's done him down here. It's actually a decent ball across, but the keeper's had to get his hands behind it, his whole body behind it, and he's kept hold of that. Now he can take the pressure off, which he has. Move the lads up and play in their half.
Looking for Nfonkeu, just bounces awkwardly, just misreads it slightly. Moore Amaluzor had no interest in competing with him in the air. Here is Cresswell, the faintest of touches to pick out Vincent. Goes to Ferguson. Vincent just tried to dummy it to get away. It's been the tale of the tape, hasn't it? Since that goal, there's just been no progress for Leeds past the centre circle. They've not really got past that into Altrincham's half, as Reddin will play it into the stands.
They brought some experienced players on, which is definitely helped them. You know, they're obviously talking out there as well, but that little bit of experience, that little bit of, you know, strength, match fitness, you know, which they have, you know, has definitely helped them in this second half. But I've got to say, I think the lads have been fantastic from the start to where we are at this present moment in time. They've just got to see out this 6 minutes. They've battled all the way through. They've got the goals which they deserved, and they've played some great football tonight.
Yeah, there's been so much that we're proud of for Scott Gardner as Altrincham for the second pass in a row. Play it out
We'll
of play.
we'll blame the bobbly pitch for that one.
It's great for Leeds, isn't it, as well? You've taken at least 30 seconds off the clock.
It just kills the game,
passes,
doesn't it?
yeah.
It just kills the game off, and we can get our shape, we can work into our areas and things, you know, and yeah, takes the whole pressure off the whole of the back four in particular. It's another one as well.
Yeah, I've just seen the body language of a few of the players. You know, Altrincham are going to go all out here to the end, but you just seen a few of them just drop the shoulders a little bit, frustration. A couple more Leeds subs have been told to warm up. That'll be Will Firth and Oliver Pickles. That's a right back and a centre midfielder by trade. Here is Weaver. Osborne, Douglas misread that. Here's Reddin running through. Douglas tried to stand his ground. It'll be cut back. There's two there waiting for it. All hands on deck again. This time it's Ferguson that gets away. You were expecting anyone in red and white to tap it home. And it all came back from that crossfield pass. And just after 3 poor touches, it's now Altrincham with a bit between their teeth once again. Ferguson in the right place, right time.
I don't know how they've missed that, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, the great ball across, but you know, he's paced down that left-hand side. There's another one. Just, yeah, step on it. But the pace down that left-hand side again from the substitution who's come on, he's caused problems. You know, he's scored the goal. He's how's he missed it? I think the pitch has really helped us there, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just bobbled up and hit him kind of thigh high or something, I think it has.
I think Thompson's expecting it, and the player in front of him puts him off, as you say, as well as the pitch, which is great news for Leeds United, and long may that continue, let's hope. But this is going to be a tense last few minutes, and again, Leeds just can't get past the centre circle. They've had no possession whatsoever since the goal. Will that change here? Nfonkeu certainly does that with a drop of the shoulder, and now he's got Vincent in his inside. He asks for it into the channel. He receives the ball. Vincent trying to slot it home, and he's offside. So close for Leeds United. Brilliant finish. Great counter-attack once again, but the flag denies them. It's 1-2.
Yeah, brilliant play, but that must have been tight. That looked tight from our angle. You know, but good play from the boys itself, and there's definitely space out the back. You know, we need to work really, really, really hard. You know, we've got to put everything into this last 4 or 5 minutes of this half, because you know they are on top at this present moment in time. They are getting the ball out wide and they're getting the ball in the box again, but the keeper's got hold of it. Just take your time.
Yeah, and again,
but some great play down the left-hand side. You know, from Nfonkeu down here, and he's got the space. You know, here he's done a turn. He's done him on that side of it. You know, it looks very tight. The left back is his hand up straight away. I don't know if that's just, you know, him thinking I'm out of any breath. I can't get any further here. You know, I'm just going to put my hand up, and the linesman's put it up. But a great finish in the you know, even though you were offside, it was a great finish in that sense.
Yeah, very good finish. It's a real shame for Leeds, because that would have given them such a bit of breathing space.
Oh, nice bobble from the pitch there.
Yeah, it's throwing up a few surprises. Let's hope there's none at the other end for Leeds. Douglas gets ahead to the ball. There's a couple of players queuing up. That's a double deflection. It will be off Debayo, winning that duel, but sadly conceding a set piece. This is where Altrincham again will feel they've got every chance. Osborne gives the instructions out. Everyone for Leeds back, including recent sub Richards.
This way you want somebody just to take control and just go and head Wherever it is, just go and head it.
Mahady again right underneath it, gets the slightest touch enough to turn it away. Back out to Thompson, slight deflection on the ball, it comes back in and Mahady glances across his post and has a breather and a big sigh of relief, and a few other players come across. Again, just try to reiterate the tactics. Referees on Leeds' case for time wasting.
It's a good ball in from the corner, and Mahady's done really well because he was under pressure. You know, there was somebody holding his shirt there a little bit, and the balls have come across, but he's done really well there.
Thumped downfield by Mahady. Douglas heads it back. And it's played into the channel. Amaluzor, Debayo's racing back. He'll just take the corner, will he? He will. No, the free kick, in fact, it's even more dangerous, really, considering the position. And there is a card coming out here for Leeds. Referees perhaps not happy as it descends. Leeds have just got to try and stay switched on, so Monteiro explains the reasoning. There is, he's given the explanation of the reasoning, not that he cares, it's a thumbs up from the defender. We're going to get into stoppage time once this free kick is taken. Two-man wall of Vincent and Richards.
It's exactly the same spot to where they scored the other one, wasn't it? So we have to be switched on again. You know, again, go and win that first header.
6 minutes of stoppage time. 6 minutes at the J. Davidson Stadium. So this is far from over, regardless of what happens here. There is still time for more drama. A floating ball this time. Cresswell gets his head to it. Thompson puts his foot through the ball. And the cheers from the opposite end of the ground are 227 very happy Leeds United fans, because we're going to, by the time we've got a new ball, waste another 10-15 seconds.
Exactly. Great, a good ball in, but great positioning from Cresswell there with a header, and you know, Nfonkeu who's got right on top of him when he's got his shot. You know, which is what you need. You need your players to put the body in the line of the ball all the time. You know, because it is one of them things sometimes where people don't. They just kind of wait for them to react to something, but put the pressure on them. Put the pressure straight away.
Yeah, Mahady's...
He's really struggling with his kicking. He's down there. I'm going to give him credit in the way of it's definitely the pitch, because every time he puts his foot down there, he's got 6 foot divot. Actually, take that away.
Thompson's shot went officially out on the other side of the box. I did think, would he try his hand to cross, but the referee, would he have judged him of time wasted? But he's had a lot more joy on the left side of his 6-yard box as Weaver gets possession, Banks and the through run ignored.
I think you're right when you look at the pitch itself and you look at the box. I think you're right if it had come to the other side, but there's obviously a tactic of some sort to play it down that right hand side, because every single goal kick he's had, he's always done it on his right hand side. So
ball back in from Reddin, wide to Golden, further wide to Dolan. Header goes the wrong way from Cresswell. It's another corner. And Osborne, with whatever energy he has left.
Well, we know where it's going to go, don't we? He's going to go right under the bar again.
Yeah, Chadwick was just waiting for perhaps a short corner that could have catched Leeds out, but they have got bodies queuing up. But again, they are going to try and smother. Chadwick puts his foot through it. He's got to stay switched on. No free kicks can be given away. Richards, ball just gets caught on the turf again. Dolan's ball in. It's flicked on by the goal scorer Amaluzor, thankfully into the hands of Mahady, who's going to try and use up all of the time he has with the ball in his hands. It's still Altrincham 1, Leeds 2.
Yeah, just keep hold of it and take your time on this one. The referee's desperate to give you a yellow card, but you know, let him if that's the case. But get it up there, get up in the into their half. Let's pick up the bits and let's just get hold of the ball a little bit. You know, again, it's a bit of game management. We like to call it. You know, they're gonna throw everything at you for the next 3 minutes anyhow. But just you know, you've got to run your socks off now for 3 minutes, and you know, you've got a final to play.
Yeah, there's 2 players got in behind. Leeds can't get them offside. Ball in. Monteiro will try and stand this up, and he calls it perfectly. That will roll out, and very quickly, already 4 minutes of stoppage time have gone. And
there you go. It's all down there on that side. He'll move it, I would imagine. Oh, no. It seems to be a tactic when they're always over that side, but you can see there's 2 massive divots on the other side now. So, this side does seem to be a little bit easier. But get your shape again. Get yourself set in. Pick up the bits.
Yeah, you could see Moore and a few others. The greatest kick again. Ferguson smashes it to touch, and Mahady looking down at the floor on the 6-yard line to find the evidence of his poor pass. So into just over 2 minutes, with the fact we're having to wait for a couple of balls to be played at the J. Davidson Stadium. Looper to the far post. Well worked by Douglas. Richards tries to bring it under control. Been urged to shoot the Altrincham midfield. Leeds just sitting back, trying to get their shape ready for what they're expecting to be an on-rushing cross. Altrincham try to mix it up, and they have. Weaver's got in behind. They're racing across. That's
Good
a big
tackle.
deflection. That should be a goal kick. Surely it is. And there's the biggest punch of the day from Reece Chadwick in delight, because the deflection goes Leeds' way, and they know you can waste a little bit more time. Roy Mahady's got a little bit to say to the home support. Leeds are just moments away, you would hope, from reaching the inaugural National League Cup final.
Yeah, he's not shy, Mahady, is he? He'll have a little bit of a banter with the fans behind. I don't see anything wrong with that. But yeah, last minute, good defending there. Again, we've got to put our bodies in there, which we're doing. But let's just see this last minute out.
Yeah, Debayo tells Douglas to clear. Douglas not only tries to clear the touchline, tries to clear the stand. Scott Gardner again tells everybody, get back, fill the spaces. And into the final official minute of stoppage time we go. Free header almost, flick on, and it's gone the wrong way. And Baines' header, and you can see the atmosphere and the tension just drop a little bit. Some of the fans know that touch was important. And the way that the Altrincham players are not running back.
Feels like it was their last chance, wasn't it, really? They've got all the big lads up there. They've tried to put it in the box and get all the bits and everything else, but it was overhit. It was a free header, but it was over him all the way, really, wasn't it? So, again, it's now up to the referee's discretion of how long he wants to play.
Yeah, so Mahady, Vincent with a little nudge. He's punished him every time. Cannot remember the last time Leeds had the ball in Altringham's half. Scott Gardner looks around. He asked the 4th official for a time update. This should be it. They're sending the keeper up. Everyone's being encouraged forward, so up goes Caleb Ansen to cause carnage. Leeds.
Why don't the keeper take it? Why don't the keeper take it and the centre half get in the box,
It's not as dramatic. And I hope, of course, Leeds can handle this. The keeper does get a slight touch all the way across, does it? Did it take a touch off Leeds? No, it didn't. And there goes the full-time whistle. Leeds' players can celebrate. What a really gutsy and determined effort from a young group of players to come to the J. Davidson Stadium, beat them by 2-1. They were the only youth team left in the competition, and they have their place in the final. The National League Cup final have Leeds United under-21s firmly in the tie, thanks to goals from Monteiro and McDonald. And what a fine achievement from a young group who had their character tested, their resolve, and they came out on top, and they did it with a little bit of a chip on the shoulder.
Oh, fantastic performance from the lads from the very first whistle, really. They had to get themselves in it for the first 15 minutes, but then after that I thought they were the better team. And this is character building. This is, it's a final. Doesn't matter what final it is, but as you just said there, the only youth team to be still in the cup, and they're in the final now. So you don't want to go to finals and lose, so now they've got to get themselves ready to go into that final and win and play exactly the same as what they've done tonight. I'm really, really impressed with with Chadwick, McDonald, and we know about Chambers. We know why he's came off that first half. I quite liked him, but Cresswell in there for the middle of the park was absolutely fantastic for me. He kind of kept everybody at a calm head. He kept the ball moving. A very experienced head on very young shoulders, and the boys really deserve it tonight. Go and enjoy it. The manager will enjoy it. They've got another game on Friday night. You've got to get ready for that. I think there'll be a few changes for that one as well. But look, it's a fantastic night for them, and yeah, let's go to the final. Let's bring a trophy home.
Fingers crossed that is the case. It will be Braintree Town or Sutton United in the final of the National League Cup. And it's finished here 2-1, as you say, Andy. Back in action on Friday night in the league. But what a fine night. And what a fine way for Scott Gardner, the head coach of the 21s, to celebrate his birthday. So that's all from us here on LUTV. It finished Altrincham 1, Leeds United 2.